Hello, this is the Timeless Tarot, and in today's reading we're going to be looking at the sign of Scorpio and what's ahead for you in the next 4 to 6 weeks. So let's look at the bottom of the deck. Oh, well that's nice. We've got the Queen of Pentacles. This is knowing your own worth. Oh, even better. And underneath that we have the Empress. So this is a very, very strong feminine energy. The Queen of Pentacles knows her own worth. And the Empress is just really one step up from her in terms of confidence. That's what I'm thinking about. These are two very self-confident feminine energies. Being comfortable with who you are and where you are and how you are and what you're doing. That's what these two cards are shouting about. Which is lovely. It feels to me a little bit like you might be waiting for something. I'm getting the energy of, okay, show me what you've got. It's that sort of feeling. You're sitting back. Show me. Impress me, please. Time to impress me. I'm ready. It's that sort of feeling. Yeah. Yeah. Lovely. What a great start. So, at the centre of the reading, what is not so great is that we have the Five of Wands, which is a dispute. Potentially you're in some sort of dispute with other people, or other people are annoying you. I'm pretty sure you want it resolved, but what is preventing it from being resolved is your own watery nature. Now, I wouldn't normally say that, but seeing as I'm doing a reading for Scorpio and this is the water sign queen, if this was a reading for anybody else, I probably would have said that you're being too nice, is not getting the situation sorted out. But it feels a little bit more like, it's like you're going with the flow when really you need to be doing something in order to sort out this situation, whatever the situation is. I mean, no question, we're going to have to get a clarifier for that, because other people annoying you is not really enough to go on. But lots of lovely, strong feminine energies coming out in this reading so far. Okay, we've got two here. It's a lot of stress and anxiety over the fact that a situation is not moving forward. The situation involving other people is actually keeping you awake at night. Or waking you up at night, preventing you. I actually think you might be dreaming about it even. That's not a thing I normally say with this card. I normally say it's anxiety and stress, but I feel like you might be having bad dreams in a way. Bad dreams about other people. Oh, hang on. Maybe it's your Scorpio intuition. Maybe you've got a sense of foreboding, about a situation. I wonder if that's more like it. Well, you could be dreaming, but I wonder if you've got a sense of something bad coming. That's what it feels like. Something bad, you're sensing that something bad is coming, that's going to bring about some sort of change that you're not very comfortable with. This doesn't feel like this is anything you've brought about yourself. Not obviously, anyway. This feels more like you've got, well, what did I say a minute ago? A sense of foreboding about something to do with other people that you're involved with. And it feels like there's nothing you can do to avoid it. The Chariot's not actually moving yet, and it feels like you're not going to have the opportunity to move. It feels like you're in the way of a runaway train or something. A runaway cart is rolling down a hill towards you and you haven't got a chance to get out of the way. That's what that feels like. That this situation that you've got a bad feeling about is coming and you can't avoid it. Ooh, how interesting. You can't avoid it. And also, I have to say as well, you're not supposed to avoid it, because this is pre-planned. This has been this is guided. Whatever it is that you're sensing that you're not going to like, it is supposed to happen. The only thing I can liken it to is if you go out and you drink too much and you have a row with somebody, and in the morning you wake up and you've got a terrible sense that something went wrong, but you can't remember it completely. It's that sort of sense. You've got a feeling that something's going to go wrong. You can't get out of the way. There's no opportunity to get out of the way. That's just the way this is going to pan out. You are worried about it. You want to do something about it, but there isn't any, it feels to me like there is nothing you can do. Interesting. I'm going to leave those there like that for now, but we might come back to them. On the face of the situation, or what's crowning it, what's obvious to everybody, everything looks like it should be absolutely fine and dandy. Everything's lovely. But we know you've got a sense that everything is not lovely, or that the situation that's lovely at the moment is not going to last. I've got a feeling it might have something to do with your family. It feels like a family situation, because there are other people here. It could either be a family situation or a work situation. But to me, it feels possibly more like family. That what's currently working well in the family is not going to be working much longer. It won't be working like that for much longer. Maybe your children are growing up and they're going to leave home, or maybe they're turning into teenagers and you're going to have a hard time. Sadly, having lived through teenage years with boys, I know exactly what you might be in for. Yeah, you could be coming in for a bit of a hard time to do it in a family situation. I think there's something in the family dynamic is altering, and you don't like the feeling of it, but you can't stop it. And especially if it's to do with people growing up or moving away or anything like that. That's life, hey? Or maybe you're going to become an empty nester, and that's not something you want either. Or that's not a situation you think you're going to like. Yeah, so it's something like that. Right, what's underneath? We have the Knight of Wands. It's a man really who wants to be out in the world having fun, I would say. And in terms of energy, it's like a go-getting energy. Somebody's decided what they want and they're going out to get it. So actually, maybe if this is talking about grown-up children or children who are growing up and about to leave home, and they've spotted what they want in the world and they're off and they're going, that is that sort of feeling, and you don't like the idea of them going, perhaps. It's like, because these two cards are back to back here, it's like somebody is leaving home, is what it feels like. They're going their own way. But what's coming along with these, I always take a couple extra for the underneath position, because this is really what's hidden. And sometimes it can even be hidden from yourself. It's things that you haven't thought about yet, or ideas that you haven't quite crystallized, or subconscious thoughts as well. So I often take a couple of extra cards to clarify the underneath, just because it's a little bit murkier. The energy is a little bit less clear. And we've got the card of less clear. This is confusion, actually, and options. So if this young male energy is leaving, it's because he's got a lot of options. Just wonder if there's another way of reading that. No, if it does feel like that. It feels like somebody is off to, go and explore the world. Interestingly, though, the other card that came with it is the card of victory. Do you know what it just feels like? It feels like you've done a really, really good job. If this is to do with a teenager or a young adult leaving home, this is because you did a really good job. And you sort of did too good a job. They're ready to go, perhaps before you're ready to let them leave. That's what that feels like. And also the other thing is, they're going to be successful in whatever it is they're doing. I think they're planning. They've got a plan, and they're going, and they're going to be successful. Right, in the past position, we've got the King of Cups. It's interesting because we had the Queen of Cups in the centre, crossing the situation, feeling like you can't make any changes because this situation is rolling along and you can't get out of the way of it. I wonder if it sort of feels a bit like you're less powerful than you once were, like you've lost your grip a bit. It also feels to me like when I'm looking in this past position, you might not have always had the backup that you needed in terms of parenting. Because if we go to these two cards that were underneath the bottom of the deck, these are very strong feminine energies. I wonder if maybe, if you're a single parent and you've done a really good job of raising children or child or son who is leaving the nest, you've had to do it on your own. And also the other thing is here, this is the King of Cups. Well, it could be a water sign man, but it's far more likely to be a man who's not been telling you what he's been planning. And so it could be, this doesn't feel like the past, to be honest. This feels quite nowish. It could be that maybe you were once very close with this young adult and you knew everything, but he's not been telling you. That feels like a thing. That there's a situation that you can feel is developing because they've stopped talking to you and you've got a sense of foreboding about it. Well, it's not even foreboding, it's a sense that things are changing and there's really nothing much you can do about it. In the future position, we've got the Eight of Pentacles. This is the card of, well, it's like working on yourself. Ah, that's interesting, because this is the Queen of knowing your self-worth. So actually, if you are, this is, well, we've got all, I mean, we've got almost all the queens at the moment. So if you have been absolute mum and dad to children who are growing up and leaving, it's now time for you to focus on yourself. Yeah, I think so. Time for you to focus on you. And that's what this Eight of Pentacles is talking about. Sometimes it's about growing your wealth, but I think increasingly, especially as females, as we get older, the focus does need to shift back onto the self, because you give so much of yourself to others in the mothering process. I'm not sure why that came out, but it could be that it's time for you to focus on you, especially if your children are old enough to be leaving. Maybe they're going off to university in September, because this is for the next 4 to 6 weeks, and maybe you're worried. That feels like a thing. You might be worried. You're worrying about how that situation is going to pan out for them and how they're going to manage out in the big wide world. I think so. That feels like a real thing. Well, in the big wide world, this has always been a plan. It's always been their plan to go, and they'd be a very unusual child who doesn't want to leave home, I would say. I think that could be a thing. It's time for you to put the focus back on yourself and loosen your mothering reins a little bit. In the personal position, we've got the Nine of Cups. This is wishes coming true. So, and that fits back in with this card of victory. This is if you've raised children who are off, or children who are off to university in September, and maybe you never went to university, maybe it's a dream that you had for them, and they're going, and this is down to your sheer hard work and determination and your excellent mothering skills, then it is a wish coming true. It just has a slightly sad tinge to it. It feels not hollow, it doesn't feel hollow, but it feels slightly sad that this stage has come and you weren't expecting it just yet, but then of course you were. I think that's what that is. Let's get a clarifier for the Nine of Cups. We've got the Four of Swords. This is a card of recovery. Or maybe the child has been ill and they've come to the end of what's been quite a long journey of illness, and they've recovered, and that has been your wish, and that wish has come true. It feels a little bit like that. Or, to view it the other way, you've been wishing for a bit of peace and quiet and you've been looking forward to them going. That's the other way of looking at it. I think perhaps if that's the case, I think the way you're feeling now is surprising you. I think if you've been a single parent for a long time and everything's been really hard work, and you've been looking forward to them leaving and you having a bit of peace and quiet. I think perhaps you might be surprising yourself by finding that a little bit of an upsetting thought now, and actually it's what you've wished for. And so you will be getting a period of respite. Yeah, whether you like it or not now. That's what that feels like. In the home position, yeah, it's change. It's all changing. It's changing at home. Everything's going to be different at home. Death is a big change, obviously, in terms of actually dying. But in terms of the tarot, it talks about a big change. A big, well, for want of a, pardon me, a better phrase, a big sweeping change. And that's sort of what I was trying to say at the start, that you're going to get swept out. You can't get out of the way of this. It's like a juggernaut coming towards you. You can't avoid it. This change is coming. Whether you like it or not, whether you're a bit sad about it, whether you feel ready for it or not, the change is coming. I think let's take a clarifier. Change is coming. Well, we've got quite a few cards here. We've got 4 cards here. Let's have a quick look through. So to clarify death and change, we've got Strength, Knight of Swords, that's fast, 10 of Cups, happy family, and 7 of Pentacles. Yeah, this change is coming about because you have done a good job. That you can't resist it. There is no resisting death. No matter how hard you try and to prevent it from happening, it is coming. It's coming quickly, and it is going to change the family dynamic. But that's what you've planned for. And it's time for it to happen. In the hopes and fears position, we have the Ace of Cups. You're hoping for a new love. I mean, maybe you've been really close and you're worried about how that's going. You're worried about losing that connection. That's what that feels like to me. The closeness, you're worried about losing it. Or maybe potentially you're ready for something else to take its place. I can only assume that you're single and that you're losing, your child is leaving. And that means that you're going to be alone. Because I can't, for the life of me, work out why you would be wishing for a new love. You must be single. So actually, if I go back to these 2 cards here, these women are absolutely fine, obviously. Absolutely fine as they are, thank you. And I think I said at the start, waiting to be impressed. And I also said it's time for you to be working on yourself. So potentially it's time to bring in a new love. The Empress, to be honest, she is fine on her own. She's better on her own than the Emperor is. But she is one half of a pair. And if you've been in a pair situation with a child who's grown up and leaving, then that does leave you pretty much on your own. And I think that is why you're hoping for a new love. So I'm going to put those cards over there, and that's because it's time for you to focus on you. And, you know, at first, the new love might have to be loving yourself first before you can actually bring in an actual partner. And it might not relate to you looking for an actual partner. I think this could just be, well, for some of you, this is going to be about loving yourself and putting yourself first. For others, maybe it's time that you were seeking a partner. The outcome is the 3 of Swords. Now, this is heartbreak. If we go back to the start where I was talking about the situation that was causing you stress and you can't change it and you've got a sense that something's changing and you're worried about it, it could just be relating to that. Or then I was talking about the fact that maybe a child was leaving and the family dynamic was changing. It could be relating to that. Or it could be relating the fact that there hasn't been any self-love going on. And so the outcome being the 3 of Swords is heartbreak. You could be broken-hearted over the situation, but your heart will repair itself. And if this is a broken-hearted situation because you're then finding yourself alone and not knowing what to do, this is a sort of lonely energy. If you're feeling broken-hearted because you're going to be feeling a bit lonely, which is a possibility, I have great news for you. Because we have a love coming in. We have a love connection coming in. So you are wishing for love, and love is arriving. Not only is love arriving, but we also have the Ace of Pentacles, which is, it could be a lottery win or something like that, or an inheritance. It can also be a new home or an engagement. So if you're feeling broken-hearted, like you haven't got anything much to be focusing on other than yourself, and you don't like the idea of that very much, and you are single and you do want a partner, I have great news. You are going to be getting that partner and a life that you want. I know at the start, not at the start, I know I said that the family dynamic was changing, and it has to, it's inevitable. Children grow up, but it looks to me like you're going to have a new life and a new love coming in. I think first of all, the new love really needs to be yourself. But after you've managed to, you know, sort yourself out, you've still got, you have options here. It's quite exciting, actually. I think this is great news. Yeah, I just wanted to look at the bottom of the deck. There's definitely a masculine energy coming in. And it's going to make you really happy. Oh gosh, that's lovely. I think I'm going to leave the reading there, Scorpio. So just to recap, if you're a mother who's feeling like you're anxious about a family situation changing, or you're going to become an empty nester, or you've got a child going to university or something like that, and you're fearing spending a lot of time on your own, I wouldn't worry too much, because you've got love, joy, potentially a new home, and a love offer coming in. You're going to have to work on yourself though. Boost up your self-esteem. Make sure that you know what it is you want that's going to be right for you. And then you'll fully be into the strongest feminine energy of the Empress. Well, Scorpio, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Please like and subscribe so that I can read your energy more easily, which will help me to do more accurate readings for you in the future. If you would like a personal reading, my information is in the description box below. Until next time, this has been the Timeless Tarot. Goodbye.